Hello everybody, my name is Miguel. Welcome back to Lucid9. Alright, so I'll make sure I'm on the screen. Okay. So we saw two was what the sentence says. Beneath the shade of a tree in the far corner, I catch sight of two figures facing each other with hands on their hips. I'm guessing it's two girls, because girls only have their hands on the hips and guys usually do, but I don't fucking. Anyway, we see this. Let's continue on. Oh, just as suspected, it's these guys. Oh boy, I inch forward. The figures are none other than Misaki and Rui immersed in conversation. Must you keep ignoring me, Rui? Because you've been gone for 4 years, Misaki. We didn't know where you went or even why you had to leave. All these years, Yama and I were left in the dark. For all we knew, you could have been dead. How can you expect us to act like you never left? I still don't understand how Yama can be so forgiving after he almost... You know what? I'm tired of this. Just don't ever speak to me again, Misaki. She turns to stalk off, but Misaki grabs her wrist in the blink of an eye. I'm not letting you walk away, damn it. Do you believe that I wanted to leave Seto to move to District 6 with my mother, who, by the way, doesn't even deserve to be called my mother? What I don't understand is why you're blaming me for something I couldn't control. Misaki's sudden outburst seems to catch Rui off guard. District 6? Doesn't deserve to be called my mother? Just what happened to Misaki after she left Seto? Misaki, you're hurting my wrist. Oh, I'm so sorry, Rui, I shouldn't have. The two girls seem to avoid each other's gazes for an awkward moment. Rui is the first to speak, her voice coming out in barely a whisper. Half a year after you left, we gave up. We thought you'd never contact us again. I was okay, but Yama, he thought that someone had left him. Again. Forever. What was that? He thought that people would just keep leaving him, that no one would stay by his side. He locked himself in his room, pulled himself into his shell. I couldn't reach him. No one could. He didn't trust any of us to stay. Then I dropped by his house one day and the medicine cabinet was open and this huge bottle was gone. You mean? Yeah, you know how hands off his parents have always been. The ambulance barely made it in time. They had to start pumping him on site. That's how bad it was. Was it really that bad? So Yama was so depressed of Misaki leaving that he tried to commit suicide. Was that it? So, understand why I was so upset. I had no idea, Rui. Just where were you, Mickey? Why couldn't you just have... Rui breaks off and covers her face with her hands. Misaki's expression crumbles. She hesitantly reaches toward Rui, and Rui promptly kicks her in the shin. Dummy Mickey, why did you take so long? Ow! Why weren't you there for Yama? Why weren't you there for me? I missed you. What? Oh, you wanted me to click? Oh, okay. Rui! And now they're draped against each other, sobbing like newborn children. What just happened? Wait a minute, did I even started my... Whoops! How long have I been recording? 4 minutes. Okay. Well, I screwed up. I forgot to turn on my timer on my phone. I'm playing this on a windowed screen, but my timer is like big, as you guys saw it just now. It's big, so if I put it to the side, I wouldn't even see it. So I got this handy little timer. That's why you guys see me on the other videos looking down at it. It's actually been quite handy, actually, even for the vanished videos. All right, bullshit aside, I quietly inch away from the scene, feeling the sudden sense that they need privacy. At least they made up. Well, from the looks of it. It almost seems like Rui was just really overwhelmed from keeping secrets. My memory of that time is very faint, but hers must be crystal clear. Her terror, her anguish when she stumbled on me must have been festering inside her all these years, because mentioning anything could have sent me over the brink. She always had to fake smiles, put me first, pick me up when I'd fallen down. Something itches in the back of my mind, a weird kind of dizziness threatening to overcome me. I force it back until I could become more detached. I really, really don't want to think about that time, but thankfully I can suppress it for now. But Rui, she was never one to hide away from her feelings. She faced that pain full force. Little wonder that seeing Mickey again had brought all that to the surface. And Mickey. She says she'd moved to District 6 with Satomi. Something she hadn't told me when I first saw her 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Why would she resent her mother so passionately? Also, why would they move to District 6, the most poverty-stricken area of Isamu? It certainly makes me curious, but then again, it's really none of my business. At least she and Rui are friends again, so maybe now the three of us can go back to the way we were. I managed to read that before I clicked away by accident. I can't hide a smile as I lounge against the couch after whipping some dinner, replaying the exchange in my head. I'm glad that they've made up. Really glad. Somehow it feels like a big burden has been lifted off of me, even though I technically had nothing to do with the argument. And now I'm getting all stabby. Let's see, what should I do tonight? Work on homework with someone. Or watch Govermaker. I haven't even given the Govermaker a chance. But work on homework with someone. I mean, who? It's gonna give me a choice on who to work it with? That should be interesting. Saving brain cells. Oh, thank you, achievement. I guess I should actually study. Not that I ever do it alone. If I'm going to be miserable, might as well be miserable with someone else. English with Elizabeth, Japanese with Rui, math with the last person we need to talk to is Masato, because he's gonna bring up track. Moral studies with Yahiko, science with Misaki, social studies with Akira. Akira was acting weird. These guys have made up, but we haven't talked to Rui in a while. But Akira, I don't know. We haven't talked with Elizabeth in a while. Jeez, I really wish I could have just saved if I had known about this, because each of these probably would have given us. Probably these would have affected the story later on. Akira acted weird when we were talking and she grabbed my arm, she let go, and then she started blushing, as what the story said. Misaki and Rui, I don't want to talk to them because I got close to the mic. I don't want to. I mean, I could, but I mean, they just got into their little moment, so I probably it's probably best if I leave them alone. I guess I don't know. I'm just thinking as if I'm actually Yama, and I'm thinking oh, these guys are in there, had their moment, so the last thing they probably want is for me to bug them or something. I don't know. But then again, if I do Japanese Rui, maybe Rui will probably tell me about things. But I'm curious about Akira. Why is Ari not involved in this? Of course, math with Masato, that's out of the question. Moral studies with Yahiko, also out of the question because Yahiko is a dumbass. English with Elizabeth, that's even though I despise her and ditto for her, this would be interesting. This is also interesting, but fuck, I haven't spoke with Misaki, but she's gonna be on her phone, so I don't know. This is a hard decision. I'm spent about. Okay, this timer says 5 minutes, and this one was at 4. But when I started this timer, so 8 minutes in total. And I probably blabbered on about who to choose for 2 minutes. It's hard to see. Well, I mean, of course, these two are out of the question. I'm interested in this. I'm also interested in this. I'm rarely interested in this, and I'm also really interested in this. Japanese with Rui. I already speak Japanese because this does take place in Japan, so technically speaking, we're already Japanese. Science with Misaki. Social studies with Akira. Let's go with Akira, just because that was the last person we talked to. Social studies. I don't know many people who would be good with social studies. Akira, maybe? Since she loves theater, she probably knows more about history, and so I'm probably going to regret that decision now. Oh boy, here we go. Oh, I don't know how to do any of this. She's just doing it. Akira. So let's see. Dots. So let's see if she picks up. Probably not. Oh, I was supposed to click on that. More dots. Loot! Huh? Drop it, give me 20! Akira, it's time to break character. Oh, sorry. The press told me to watch some more films to understand my character a little more. Really? I thought you did fine. Actually, my reaction to stop you from using the gun was way too fast. If I was really a wet behind the ears private, I should have froze. Then the press should have gotten shot, and she should have had a beautifully tragic death scene. And then I could have avenged her by slowly, meticulously, and agonizingly taking you apart limb by limb until you're... I think you're a sadistic serial killer. I think your sadistic serial killer character is taking over. Whoops, sorry, Loot. It was just yesterday. I'm not sure if she's mentally stable. So, what's up? Would you happen to know about British history around the time Shakespeare was around? Why, you've asked the completely wrong person. I haven't a clue. Why does she seem so enthusiastic about that? Well, you know a lot about Shakespeare, right? Well, if you're going according to Shakespeare, then I can confidently say that everyone killed themselves, fell in a forbidden love, and insulted each other in a iambic pentameter. That's not exactly what I was looking for. Oh, I know. You're looking for the meaning of life. But, well, aren't you? That's what everyone's looking for. You know what? I think I got it. Thanks, Akira. Good night. A fair night to thee, Yama. Well, as amusing as that was, I probably wouldn't repeat the experience. I definitely would be more productive researching social studies of my own. Then a sudden ring on my phone breaks me out of my thoughts. I wonder who could it be? Oh boy. Ah, sigh. I better answer this one. Shigure? Ah, Ishiyama. A most intriguing circumstance has transpired and necessitates immediate reagency. I'm not going on another little goose chase, if that's what you mean. Oh, I aver that this is of far more exigency than a mere preliminary. Despite myself, I'm intrigued. And what would that be? The police have come to an impasse in exact coadjuvancy for the recent disappearance within Isamu Imperial Boarding Academy. Are you conversant with the cases? I ruefully think back to the events of the morning. Yeah, I'm somewhat familiar with the recent disappearances. Well, I should hope so, given that you attend the very institution. At any rate, you must meet me at the school tomorrow morning. We are scouring every last inch of that campus, even if it requires neglecting sleep. With luck, a crucial piece of evidence may be uncovered. Disappearances, neglecting sleep, evidence? What's going on? So we're researching the academy for a lead on the recent disappearances. That is to what I previously adverted. Are you deaf, or merely improficient of fathoming such elementary conceptualizations with your tawdry intellectuality? Jesus, these big words. There goes the canon of verbal abuse. I'm honestly impressed. I can't match her in that regard. But no one disturbs my sleep. No one. Are you expecting me to pull an all-nighter for this? Well, naturally, the case demands it. I'm not doing that. Get some other people to help. On the contrary, as I have no qualms with neglecting sleep, you should be the one recruiting. Gather your accomplices as you deem necessary, Ishiyama, and meet by the school gates at 8 a.m. sharp. But isn't it illegal to share confidential case information with civilians? It ought to be felonious to possess such infinitesimal acumen, yet you are not incarcerated. That doesn't answer my question. Should you choose to go alone, know that you will be spending the entirety of your day in investigation. Not even getting paid. If you really don't want to do it, you don't have to. But we both know you're already too curious for that. What's really unfair in that she's actually right? What's really unfair is that she's actually right. Sometimes I wish that she was oblivious and stupid, but then again, she wouldn't be Shigure. Yes, I have a lot of calls to make. When I arrive at the academy next morning, I find a fairly sizable group of people gathered by the gate, none of them looking particularly happy with me. Well, look who actually showed up. Elizabeth's definitely the angriest. I probably shouldn't have pulled the blackmail card to get her here, but at the same time, I need as many people as I can get. You thought I wouldn't? Honestly, no. Harsh. I was the guy who organized this. Why wouldn't I show up? Once an irresponsible person, always an irresponsible person. Would you like some pepper with that salt? Oh, no, thank you. I'm just telling him how to improve. Sure you are. You haven't said a single constructive thing. Does he deserve it? He doesn't bloody take anything seriously. Has he ever excelled? Ever? Is this still about that stupid project from last year? It wasn't stupid. Clearly you don't have the brains to understand. Hey, lay off her. Guys, can we just stay out of this, Yahiko? There goes Akira. Silent as ever. Look, Elizabeth, I tried to just ignore you. I thought you improved because Yama stopped talking about you. But you're too stubborn to think you might be wrong. You know nothing about me. Stop shooting off your mouth like an ignorant. You come here and say that to me. Yeah, Vos. Yeah. Yeah, Vos need this let loose for you spill him. Come done what you done, eh? For a second, I found myself double-checking whether that was indeed Masaki Kazehaya who just spoke. Judging from the fact that everyone else looks just as bewildered as me, the answer is a resounding yes. The commotion immediately comes to a halt. Masato is seemingly the only person who actually registered what Misaki just said. She's right. Ain't no use in us arguing. Well, alright then. Guess that's one way to defuse an angry Masato. What makes it a little scary was how easily Misaki could do so. Elizabeth and Rui turn away in a huff, but they stay silent. I'm not completely sure whether it's out of respect for Misaki or if they simply don't have the energy to keep arguing. Well, this is getting off to a great start. It appears you accrued a respectable quantity of potential peons after all, Ishiyama. And now Shigure's here, which will either fix everything or make matters much, much worse. I'm betting on the latter. And oh, Ari's here. Wait, isn't that Ari? What are you doing here? You! I elbow him in the ribs to shut him up. He seems to understand. That's from her. She is with me, obviously. I, on the other hand, have my own inquiry. But what means have you acquainted yourself with Ari Hiraga? How do I know her? Same school, remember? And yet you address her with some similitude of fellowship. So do you. How do you know her? I hold no obligation to acknowledge queries impelled by a marginally competent plebeian. This bitch. With this kind of affirmation of my heart efforts, she moves into the group, examining each person from head to toe. They only stare back, unsure of how to react. Intriguing. Oh, I see. What are you doing? Shigure only returns to the center of the group without another word. My name is Shigure Inamoto. I'm a freelance detective. Aren't you kind of young for that? I'm 26 years of age, you tendentious imbecile, and legally certified. She flashes her badge at Masato, who only shrugs. You're 26? Yes. Pray keep yourself from any further counterproductive disruptions. After a moment of silence during which she takes a deep breath with Ari, comfortingly patting her back, she seems to regain control. You have been summoned on account of an extremely important affair. As you might expect, I cannot divulge details due to the confidential nature of the case. However, I can tell you the following. We are searching for any information that may be related to the recent disappearances of Academy students. You must be meticulous, you must be witty, you must be adaptable, and above all, you must stay alive. Her words carry unusual dramatic weight. A quick glance around the area confirms my suspicions. Every person is leaning towards Shigure, a glimmer of excitement in their eyes. Even Elizabeth seems interested. Heck, I'm looking forward to this. Turns out Shigure can be inspiring when she really wants to. Investigate all areas of the school until noon, where we shall reconvene at the garden rooftop to debrief. Leave no stone unturned. The lives of innocent citizens lie in our hands. 3, 2, 1. Break. Oh. Well then. Every person in the group tears off in every direction. Only Eri, Rui, and Shigure remain. Rui shuffles close to Shigure with a shy smile. I'm sorry, but would it be okay if I tagged along with you? Being a detective just sounds so cool. But, of course, only if it's okay with you and Eri. I noticed Shigure's chest puff up slightly like a proud veteran aiming to impress the newbies. Rui probably scored extra points by including Eri. Well, if you insist. Eri? Eri glances from Rui to Shigure and back. The edge of her brow furrowing slightly, Shigure, noting her hesitation, tries a comforting smile. Remember? Is that a smile I see? Eri stares vacantly at Shigure for a long moment, then nods, the corner of her lips just rising slightly. I think that's a smile I see on her. It's settled. What's your name? I'm Rui Hayata. We must depart at once, Rui. Enlightenment awaits. And she promptly dashes away, Rui on her heels. Eri briefly glances in my direction as she follows them out. I spend an idle moment relishing the fresh air against my face and the glorious serenity of silence. Then I straighten my shoulders and evaluate my surroundings, ready to start my investigation. Where should we start the investigation? Let's start with the entrance. We're already at the entrance. The offices lie near the school entrance. Maybe I could glean something from there. The question is, how can I legally obtain confidential information without a license? Access to your informational database. I presume we are in agreement. Well, I guess I found my license. I should have expected Shigure to come here. The faculty office does, after all, hold the official records. Anything from the other locations would mainly be hearsay. Certainly, Miss Inamoto. Please wait a moment while I prepare the database. As the secretary withdraws into the offices, Shigure turns to Rui, pushing her glasses up the bridge of her nose. Sadly, there is little glamour in our line of work. Much of it is limited to scoring through paperwork. Really? Yes, however, as our talents are better spent on proper investigation, we often delegate such tasks to menial workers. Suddenly, her arm shoots out and pulls me by the shoulder. Exhibit A. Yama, what are you doing here? He shall, of course, be our manual labor. Wait, what? Oh, do detectives usually have those? Shigure straightens ever so slightly, clearly pleased by Rui's interest. But of course, it is not a staple in I can't read now. I've been doing like 4 episodes of these. Now I'm already becoming an illiterate idiot. It is not a staple in mystery literature. The erstwhile sidekick diligently records the many escapades of the capable detective. Wow, being a detective sounds so interesting. But that's literature. Ah, she's back. Just then, the secretary conveniently pops out of the office and slips a tablet into Shigure's hands. The system is digitized as per standard regulations, Miss Enomoto. Her eyes land on us. However, due to the confidential nature of this information, I cannot allow these students to... Come closer. Pardon? Come closer. The secretary glances around before inching forward, leaning down to meet Shigure's height. Shigure whispers something furiously into her ear, something that makes her eyes widen in shock. Well, if that's the case, then I suppose... Good, off you go. I shall return this after it has been properly searched. The secretary obediently scurries off. Rui grins in clear admiration. That was incredible. So it was. What did you tell her? She agreed awfully fast. Well, I simply notified her that the three of you are undercover agents, and that's why you acted like it was a huge secret. Precisely. I stated that your identities must not be blown for the sake of the nation. That's really clever. That, good pupil, is why it is vitally important to practice one's prowess with language. Manipulation is the key to obtaining information. That doesn't sound very moral. At any rate, we must proceed. Evidence waits. She dramatically activates the tablet, flipping through the Academy database. The amount of pure information it holds is frankly disturbing. For each student, they not only have basic information, but details filtered from any linked social media accounts. Well, protege, would you like to take a look? I guess if you really... Yes! Rui bolts in front of me, snatching the tablet out of my hands. She eagerly flicks through the tablet as Shigure looks on with a proud smile. I hope you're proud of yourself, Shigure. I'm gonna go off for a couple more minutes. Haven't I been working for Shigure for, what, 3 days now, and Rui just met Shigure today? Wait, why do I care? I'd be free if she took my job. No more random assignments. No more verbal abuse. It would be heavenly. Right? Rui suddenly leaps away from the tablet, startling me out of my thoughts. Oh gosh, I did not need to know that about Masato. What? Nothing. Nothing. I attempt to peer over her shoulder for a closer look, but Shigure promptly swipes the tablet. A good effort, protege, but you must remember to prioritize the evidence above all else. Had you lost your grip on that tablet, our lead would have been obliterated. Eek! I didn't think of that. It is no big burden, but we must utilize the precious time we have been granted. She begins skimming through the tablet, eyes roving rapidly across the glass surface as she takes in every morsel of information. Huh, yes, oh I see. What is it? What is it? We have one particularly very telling detail. Something that should be addressed before we move on. What? Ishiyama. She flings the tablet unceremoniously in my direction. I'm barely able to catch it in time. So much for prioritizing the evidence above all else. Summarize. Why me? Because you are dragging the group down with your uselessness. But summarize. Sir, yes, sir. I dourly scan over the tablet as she hovers over my shoulder, or attempts to, except for her considerable lack of height. Well? I wave away her demands, steadily immersing myself with data. Apparently, there's already been 3 official disappearances. The first was verified 6 days ago, the second was verified 4 days ago, and the third was verified just yesterday. Midori Maeno, 2nd year, missing for 8 days. Tuma Hayashi, 1st year, missing for 5 days. Akane Tsukino, 2nd year, missing for 2 days. Wait, Akane? Why does that name sound so familiar? Midori Maeno, Tuma Hayashi, Akane Tsukino. Ishiyama, pray give us something of marginal benefit before swine take to the air. Yeah. I continue skimming. There doesn't seem to be much connection with the student years, nor their hobbies, grades, or anything really. Guess I should start with the basics and work my way up. Maybe I'll find something. All 3 students are children of wealthy families. Irrelevant. 86% of the academy students' population belongs to families with an income bracket over 25 million yen. That is yen, right? I don't know. I'll just say yen. I'll assume it. They also all lived on campus at the dorms, as does the majority of the academy, faculty included. But here's the weird thing. Even during school break, which was when the first victim, Midori Maeno, disappeared, the academy enforces curfew to protect both its students and its property. The curfew is something like 11:30 p.m., right, Ruri? Yeah. So on-campus students have this curfew at 11:30. All the victims lived on campus, so they would have to register for curfew. But according to these records, they all disappeared at night, even after registering for curfew. No one's supposed to be able to get in and out after curfew. Just so. Thus, Ishiyama, we have a bit of quandary on our hands. How did 3 students manage to leave during a time when they could possibly not do so? Leaving after the academy curfew. If they wanted to stay out all night, why log themselves in at all? Why not just stay out the whole day? If only one student had left after curfew, I could easily waive it away as an exception. Maybe they didn't want to get in trouble, but they really wanted to party or drink or do whatever academy students do. Maybe they had friends to help them out. But 3 in such a short time. Furthermore, it's 3 people who don't seem to have any strong relationship with each other. Excuse me, Miss Inamoto? The secretary pops out of nowhere, looking very stern over the thin-rimmed spectacles. Ah, wait a moment. I can't, I'm afraid. I verified the identity of these students with the police headquarters, and they hold no record of undercover agents at this location. Well, they should hardly divulge that degree of intelligence to a mere layperson. They also warned me of your previous stunts. That's... Come investigate on your own, Miss Inamoto. I cannot reveal confidential information to ordinary students. She promptly whisks the tablet out of my hands and strides back into the office. Shigure stews in silence for a long, long moment. Ruling only tugs at her sleeve with a penitent expression. I'm sorry, Shigure. We shouldn't have come... Nonsense. This is simply a perfect demonstration of the faults of bureaucracy. What did we learn from those records? Nothing. Nothing that was not already publicly accessible. Imbeciles. Shigure. Erie's simple call seems to mollify Shigure. Well, at the very least, I suppose we discovered some fairly important information. Primarily the fact that each student logged in for curfew before they curiously vanished. That's a good start, at least. Sadly, not nearly significant enough. Then how did you propose we continue? Well, thankfully I anticipated that such an event might occur and made sufficient compensations. Come, Eri, Rui, Ishiyama. Renewed, she marches up the stairs to the 2nd floor. I've got a really bad feeling about this. So do I. So that's saving, and almost 30 minutes. So this one's gone for a little bit longer, just because of that little... They were investigating the tablet, so I just want to go like a little bit for extra minutes just until that was done. So we're going to keep going, and we'll pick this up at another time, because I got other games that I got to record. I got to record my Pokemon Fire Red, and I got to record another game that I just managed to I managed to get. So I'm going to be doing a series on that. I haven't done enough. Well, it's a nostalgic game. I'll say that. I haven't done a nostalgic series in a while, and not much. I wouldn't even call. I don't even think I should call myself a YouTuber. I'll just say like content creator or whatever. You don't see much of the big YouTubers doing like nostalgic series. They play like all the like new games of like 2016, 2015, and you see them play it as soon as they come out or days before because they got the privilege to play games early. And you don't see like much like games being played. Well, you see a couple play them, but you don't see like the big guys doing them, doing like a playthrough of like Super Mario World or Donkey Kong Country or stuff like that. This game that I'm gonna record, Pokemon Fire Red, of course, and another one that I'm keeping secret until it gets uploaded one day. It's a super nostalgic game from my childhood, and I'm really happy to play it. But I think I've talked too much on my outros. I need to stop. I mean, I just like to. I don't know why. But before I go off for too long, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll pick this up at another time. If you guys like this video, give this video a thumbs up. It'll help me out a lot. I'll greatly appreciate it. Share this video with friends. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Buffy Winky.
Did you?
He was in the I
don't happen to see him. I don't happen to see him here.
Oh, jeez! Oh, fucking Christ! God damn it!
He died?
No! I was like scanning the area in my camera.